everything changes.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another nursing video. It's been a while since I have uploaded a nursing video. First, I'm just going to do a little bit of an update and then we'll get on to the video. This video is going to be how to survive pharmacology. Taking it in an accelerated program is probably very different than taking it in a traditional program, but I think a lot of the tips and tricks that I have can be super beneficial to anyone. So first of all, I have officially finished pharmacology and pathology. Both of those courses were 5 weeks long and I did pretty well in them. It was definitely a lot of outside of class work as opposed to now, which I've started clinicals, so it's a lot of in-class work and doing clinicals and less outside of class work, which is kind of a nice balance for the rest of the summer. Eventually I'll have a video about my clinical experience. It's hard because I can't film at school or in the hospital, obviously, because of HIPAA and other rules. So we're gonna make the most of it and try our best. So I have a little list of everything and how I survived pharmacology. So first I'm kind of going to explain to you how my class was set up. So it was obviously a 5-week course. I'm in an accelerated program. So we had lecture every Tuesday and Thursday for 3 hours each. So we had pathology in the morning and then pharmacology in the afternoon. And so in pharmacology, we would learn about the drugs related to the organ system that we had just learned about in pathology. So that was a really nice way to kind of connect it. Then we also had weekly online quizzes / exams, which were every Friday. All of our exams were on ExamSoft, which is a exam software that they use for all of our exams. It's all online. It closed out all your other applications. All the questions were NCLEX style, which was also super nice and hopefully will have prepared me for the future. So yeah, each drug system was organized by like system or like usage. For example, we had like all of our heart drugs together and then all the diuretics together, all the respiratory drugs together. So one thing that was really nice was our professor kind of broke everything down. So she would give us the drug class, and then she would give us like the typical drugs in that class or like the suffix if there's a suffix that goes along with it. And that's what we needed to know. NCLEX is only doing generic names now, so we tried to not memorize the brand names because that does change with each drug. Then the next thing we needed to know was the, I'm blanking on the word. Oh, like the pharmacologic, what is it called? The action that the drug takes in the body, and that's important to know, especially when looking at other drug interactions, side effects, nursing implications, all that stuff. So then the next thing we needed to know was all the side effects and adverse effects that come with it, anything that's like special about the drugs, and then the nursing implications for each drug. So one of the best ways that I study is by writing everything out. So I did have this in one of my vlogs about how I like organize my drugs. This is my example. So as you can see, I have the type, like the category up here, which is drugs for allergic rhinitis and the common cold. So I have antihistamines, which the suffix is INE. Then I have side effects, such as drowsiness. So I have then the first generation, which is just Benadryl, and the side effect, which is drowsiness. Then the second generations, which is like Claritin, Zyrtec, etc. There's really no side effects to that, so it's kind of just like that. And then in green I have nursing implications. Decongestants, like nasal decongestant, you can only use for 3 to 5 days. So that's kind of how I organize all of my notes. And then I did this a few times where I drew out it in a diagram like this. I ended up not only doing this 1 or 2 times. It helped me organize my thoughts more concisely, so I was able to like picture in my head where on the chart it was, what color it was written in, and all that fun stuff. Another thing, and probably the thing that helped me the most, was using Quizlet. On Quizlet, I would write literally everything into flashcards and then just continuously go through that. So I would first type them all up. I would have the drug, and then I would have to have this, I would say like this drug class suffix, this drug class side effects, and the next, that card would be side effects, etc. For like literally everything was a note card. And then I would use like learn and write as the two things to kind of get it in my brain. Learn, you kind of just match, it's more like multiple choice, and then I would do that first, go through all of those. Then I had write, which is where you're giving the card and you have to write it out, and I found it's a lot easier for me to stay on track with those rather than just the paper flashcards, because with paper flashcards I can be like, oh yeah, I know that, and then like I don't know it. But with online you have to type it out, and like if you type it out wrong, it like tells you, and then you have to be like, okay, like I was right, blah blah blah. So yeah, definitely Quizlet. Honestly, Quizlet is probably the thing that's helped me the most with both my classes. Just like writing out, and I know that other people might have Quizlets out there, but it's really helpful to make your own because it can be confusing when you're going through other people's if you don't understand what the question is asking. And also just the practice of typing it out and being in repetition is like super important. Another piece of advice that I have is use mnemonics. They are so helpful, even if you have to make them up on your own. It just really helps it get into your mind. For example, our professor on our PowerPoints had 4 benzodiazepines. She had this, which is Pam and Lamb driving in a Benz. Pam and Lamb are the end suffixes to benzodiazepines. So I was like, Pam and Lamb driving in the Benz, so you know. I don't know. It's like little things like that just help you remember. Another one that one of my classmates made up was Aminoglycosides. The N and the O next to it, 2 of the main side effects are nephrotoxicity and ototoxicity. So just a way to know that, and then you know what labs you have to draw up for that with your nursing implications. Another example is spironolactone is a potassium sparing diuretic, so like spare, so you know it's potassium sparing, so you know that a side effect is hyperkalemia. Yeah, hyperkalemia. Another piece of advice that I have is like after you go through everything, write down the stuff you don't know like multiple times. This is my example. This was for heart drugs mainly. So yeah, and then from there I would try and make up my own mnemonics, like diuretic or direct renin inhibitors. Aliskiren was the example for that. So like renin, ren. And then the one last thing that honestly helped me succeed in the class was the fact that it was accelerated. It was like constantly in my head, reviewing everything, going over everything every day, learning new things every day, but like reviewing old stuff. And I've heard this like a million times in my classes, is like they're all marathons, they're not sprints, so you gotta kind of just continuously practice. You can't just go for it one day and like expect to do well in the class. And constantly having those classes definitely helped me do well in them. Overall, pharmacology went really well. Like I said, my main advice is to you is just write stuff down. Actually, first thing you need to do is figure out how you learn best, because I learn best by visualizing and writing. So that's why those things work best for me. So there's definitely quizzes online you can take to figure out how you learn best. I will link one down below for you guys to use. That might help you with your studies. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and comment below any more nursing videos you want to see. If you have any more questions about pharmacology, don't be afraid to reach out to me. My Instagram and Twitter are also linked below, so make sure you give me a follow on those. Make sure you also subscribe so you can keep up to date with everything that I'm doing with my life, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!
I've got another confession to make. I'm your fool. Everyone's got the change to